Yo, 4 financial New Year's resolutions to avoid making in 2021. Hey, it's 7 o'clock, man. So y'all know what that means. It's time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And I am your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. And we got a great show lined up for you today. We've got some, of course, question of the day. We got our quote of the day coming up. But I want you to do me a favor, man. Go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. Let's get you a free business shout out. Let everybody know what you got going on. And then we have our 1 minute motivation, which is becoming a very popular segment on this show. So I'm super excited about that. So the name of the game, y'all, is for me on this show to help you elevate your hustle. And if you bout that life, then I am here for you, my friend. So let's officially start the show. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle, the one and only financial health mentor. And I am on a mission to empower working Americans economically through financial literacy with an emphasis on personal brand development and entrepreneurship. And today's show is brought to you by Monetize My Life Academy, the premier digital marketing mastermind. If you're trying to get digital marketing figured out, if you have a business you're trying to take online, if you're trying to figure out how to create products like ebooks and courses, if you're trying to use the internet and social media to build a attractive, powerful, and profitable brand, you might want to go check out MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. We've got memberships for the beginner at $10 all the way up to the advanced and the pro. And in fact, you got time to participate in this month's masterclass, which is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. Check that out if you want to elevate your brand using digital marketing. Welcome, Integrity Wealth Solutions in the building. Generational wealth mentor, credit and wealth building. I see Cameron Alexander from the Alexander Network is also in the building, leading people to financial success and opportunities with financial education and entrepreneurship. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So we've got 4 financial New Year's resolutions that you want to avoid making. Now, I want you guys to do me a favor. Before I give you the 4, I want you to comment in the chat because we are, the day 14 of 2021. Comment in the chat at least one of your financial resolutions that you made this year. And we're going to check out an article from Black Enterprise and see if you made one of the ones that they said you should avoid making, right? Real quick, I want to give a shout out to my girl, LaQuanda Walker. From the YouTube channel. She is actually the winner of last week's free vacation because she participated and answered the question of the day. And guess what? You, my friend, have the same opportunity to enter a drawing to win a free vacation as well. So all you have to do is answer the question of the day. What is the question of the day then, Cortez? The question of the day is this: what are you doing today to make your future self proud? That is the question of the day. What are you doing today to make your future self proud? Now, in order to enter the drawing, I need to know that your response is specific to the question of the day. So the way that we do that here on the show is you put in QOTD and then your answer. That way I can go back and get your names, put you into the drawing so that, so that we can get you in the drawing for an opportunity to win the free vacation. A couple quick announcements before we get the show started. If you are interested in building multi-generational wealth and you need a game plan to do that, Comment Wealth webinar, right? Because tonight at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're actually having a private wealth webinar where I'm going to be laying out a specific game plan that you can take for 2021 and go from 0 to hero. Some of you guys may not know, but I don't just talk about building wealth and making money and all of that kind of stuff. My specialty is in building wealth from scratch. If you already got some money, you got an inheritance coming, there's a lot of people you can go talk to and they can tell you what to do with that and grow it and manage it and maintain it. I'm here for the people like me who are having to build their empire from scratch. So if you're interested in that, Comment Wealth webinar, and I'll make sure that you get the link to participate in that tonight. Also, yours truly has been invited to speak at Global Domination Mindset 2021 going down this Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's all about how do you fix your mindset to dominate. And my talk is going to be on belief and the cycle of success. Let me grab the link to that so that you can go check that out yourselves. So I'm going to drop that link here in the comments. So those were the announcements for today. If you want to support your boy, then click on this link and go register for that event and come hang out with me, man. I don't know the time that I'm going to be talking between that 2-hour window, but nevertheless, it's going to be a power-packed event for you to come and check out. So let's talk about your New Year's resolutions for 2021. Because I'm talking about the 4 that you should avoid, some of you guys don't want to put in the comments what your resolution was for this year. But it's all good, my friends. I've got this article from Black Enterprise Magazine, and let me see if I can share this with you guys as well so that you can go to the article specifically and check it out for yourself, because I'm going to share my screen and show you a few of these things, but you might want to go and read some of the other stuff in the article as well. Anthony Munoz on YouTube, thank you for tuning in this morning. So today's article is about 4 financial New Year's resolutions that you should avoid setting, right? Some of you guys go ahead and comment in the chat which one that you set for yourself this year. Let me share my screen so we can check these out together. Marian answered the question of the day. What is she doing to make her future self proud? She said, no more credit card applications. Pay off the ones I have. Man, tell me about it, right? But if you follow my girl, Latanya Deloach, the queen of credit, she'll tell you how to use that debt to build an empire. So, but you do have to pay the ones off that you have, and don't just keep racking them up if you're not managing the ones that you have. So that's a good idea. So let me share my screen and let's talk about number 1 of the 4 financial resolutions that you should avoid setting in 2021. Let me blow it up a little bit, man, so y'all can see this a little bit better. And I apologize to my folks who are checking us out via the audio version only. If you ever want to see the show and see the audio, the visuals, then all you got to do is go to youtube.com/financial health mentor or facebook.com/financial health mentor to see what we got going on. So this is an article from Black Enterprise Magazine. And I want to give you the author is Tara Jackson, right? Tara Jackson is the author, and you guys can follow her on social media if you go check out the article yourself. But it says here, number 1 resolution to avoid setting is to be debt free. Why does she say that? The average American has about $40,000 in personal debt, with the average student loan debt of over $35,000, excluding mortgage debt. So you add the mortgage debt on there, and it becomes, pretty daunting. And a lot of people are struggling with that. If you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you a practical approach, a step-by-step approach that will allow you to get yourself out of debt, even though it shouldn't be a resolution. According to Tara, she said, debt freedom is an impressive goal to achieve in life. However, it usually takes longer than a year to accomplish this feat. It may take more time than anticipated to tackle the mountain of debt accumulated over numerous years or decades, right? Instead of setting a vague debt freedom resolution, identify specific debts or an amount to tackle and focus on paying off or paying down for the new year. The accomplishment of paying off each debt will give you the encouragement to continue, right? And so I like this approach from Tara. She's not saying don't tackle your debt, but sometimes we set ourselves up for failure by what we're trying to achieve and not really thinking about it practically, right? So you can continue towards your debt freedom journey, especially during rough financial times. And a lot of us are experiencing some of those rough financial times because of COVID. And how many of you guys are ready for another 100 days of quarantine, right? Because matter of fact, let me just see, because I've been hearing people say this. Let me go and see if I can get the actual quote. Let's see. See if I, because what they're saying is, yep, it says right here on, let me see. I'm trying to make sure I get a reputable source, because somebody says that he did plan to shut down the country. And then on one of these sites, it says he's not. Let's see. Let's see if he is. He said, yeah, okay, some of these are going way back. I'm trying to find a recent one. I've heard it said that the plan is to shut down the country again for 100 days as soon as he is in office, right? So I don't know. Let me see. All right, so here's an article from January 15th. Let's see what they are saying about if that is the case. But answer that question for me. If he decides that we're going on quarantine for another 100 days, are you prepared for that? Right? Are you prepared for that? I see some of the most important work journalists and analysts do, and about what will happen if President Biden implements a certain anti-poverty policy. And I'm trying to get to shutting down the country. And I hate when they do that. So they baited me with the snippet, and I don't even see what I'm looking for in the actual article. Nevertheless, just ask yourself, if we go on quarantine for another 100 days, what am I going to do? How am I going to invest that time, right? So number one, from the article says, do not set a goal to become debt free. Instead, do like Marion has said, hey, my goal for this year is pay down the credit cards that I have. Not focusing on all of my debt. I'm just going to focus on this segment of debt. And the reason that's really important is because paying down those high, especially if they're high interest rate cards, will actually improve your credit. So that is a good thing. And you said something else, no more credit card applications for you, which also will improve your credit, because people don't know applying for a bunch of credit cards and getting those inquiries on your report. An inquiry could be anywhere from 3 to 6 points in reduction of your score every time you apply for a card. So good idea there. Keep those questions coming, guys. The question of the day is, what are you doing today that your future self will be proud of? So before we get into number 2 on the list, I do have a quote of the day for you guys. And this one right here really hits home, and it goes in line with what we talked about yesterday on global domination mindset. It says, a person can never solve a problem with the same mindset or thinking that created it. A person can never solve a problem with the same mindset that created it. So this is something new that we're doing on the Cortez Hustle Show. It's called the quote of the day. If, my friend, you have a special quote that you absolutely love, go ahead and comment it in the chat. And if I pick your quote for another show's quote of the day, then you, my friend, will win a free vacation as well. So submit your question, your quote of the day. So today's quote of the day on the Cortez Hustle Show is, a person can never solve a problem with the same mindset that created it, right? And a funny story I was just sharing with my son yesterday. He has a job at the local Family Dollar here, and I asked him, I said, man, what do you see for yourself in the next 5 years? And he says, Dad, not to be working for anybody, hopefully. Now, may be proud as a financial health mentor that my son is thinking of and picking up the entrepreneurial spirit, right? I love that. But you can't be the financial health mentor son talking about what you hope as if you don't have control of that, right? So I helped correct him on that. Son, if your plan is to not be working for someone, then make that happen. But I also went a little bit further. I said, listen, man, how much money do you make? And he told me he made, $11 an hour or something. And we calculated, how much it will be per week, per month, per year, $24,000 per year. Now, $24,000 per year is not bad for somebody who lives at home right now and doesn't have any kids and any major responsibility. His car is paid for, so he doesn't have a car note or anything like that. Just pays a little bit on his cell phone bill and his insurance, right? So that money, it sounds good for him. But if you're talking about not working in 5 years, you got to get on with the business of bringing in some for real money. So I told him, and I shared with him something along the lines of this quote. I said, son, do you know that a person who makes $24,000 a year can never make $24,000 per month unless they become a different person? And it's saying within, that's exactly what this quote is saying. A person can never solve a problem with the same mindset and thinking that created that problem. That's why scripture says you have to renew your mind daily. Every single day, you got to renew your mind and become something different, someone different every single day. Because if you don't, you will never get out of the situation that you are currently in, my friends. And that was the quote of the day on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by, we don't have a sponsor for that segment. Hey, that could be you. You could sponsor the quote of the day. All you got to do is comment sponsorship, and I will reach out to you. We do have 100,000 folks following the page. We have about 4,500, 4,600 people subscribed on YouTube, and the actual podcast is growing daily. So you can get your brand out there in front of a lot of folks if you decide to help your boy out, sponsor the show so that I can keep this going, giving this powerful free information to any and everybody that wants it. So that was the quote of the day, again, on the Cortez Hustle Show. We're talking 4 financial resolutions that you should not set for 2021. Number 1 is don't set a resolution to become debt free. It's too big, it's too broad. Instead, focus on eliminating a certain segment of debt. So instead of saying, I'm going to become debt free, you might say, this year, I'm taking all of my discretionary income and I'm throwing it at my student loans. I'm no longer paying the minimums. All of my extra income, I'm going hard on getting rid of my student loan debt. Now, when I say discretionary income, let me give you this disclaimer. Discretionary is after you pay yourself. It's after you pay yourself. Do not, I repeat, people, do not spend all of your money paying off your debts if you have not paid yourself. If you haven't put a little to the side in an investment for yourself, and then you go pay off all of your debts, yeah, it's going to feel good that you have no debts. But then what happens if you lose your job? They got paid, but now you don't have an income. No, always make sure that you're going to take a little bit and put to the side for your emergency fund. You're going to take a little bit and put to the side in an investment. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just share this with you real quick, and we're going to give you number 2. If you are not part of our private Facebook group, Wealth Creation Playbook, you're missing out, because a lot of people say, well, Cortez, I don't know where to start when it comes to investing. I teach 2 things. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, financial planner. I don't have Series 6. I can't invest money for you. However, I can help you understand terminology and perspective. And in that group is broken up to various units. And one of the units is called the investment playbook. That investment playbook has some great intro videos into the world of investing. And I actually go a little bit deeper and I show you exactly where you can go and get double-digit returns on your money. Now, past performance doesn't always equal future results. However, I think in that particular video, and I know I need to update it, that particular video, we looked at a fund that has been averaging 15% for the last 40 years or something, right? And the funny thing is, it's hidden in plain sight. So go to facebook.com and look up Wealth Creation Playbook. And if you ask to join the group, I will let you into that group. So number 2 on the list of 4 financial New Year's resolutions that you should avoid making. And this is according to Black Enterprise Magazine. Let's check out number 2. You should, my friend, cold turkey spending cuts, right? Again, the author here is trying to get you not to set yourself up for failure, right? The abrupt and complete manner of going cold turkey usually leaves people feeling deprived and defeated if they fail, especially for spenders. When this happens, many feel resentful and tend to cheat or kill the turkey altogether and splurge and thus overspend, making their situation worse, right? And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Instead of making the attempt to cold turkey cut spending resolution, reduce expensive spending from every day down to a few days. Once you get used to minimizing your expenses, spending behavior to only a few days, add a day or 2 more. So basically, she wants you to take the wean yourself off approach, right? If you got excessive spending problems, wean yourself off little by little, and you might stand to have a little bit more success. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already answered the question of the day so we can enter you into the drawing to win a free vacation, then the question of the day is, what are you doing today to make your future self proud? In order for us to know that you're answering the question of the day so you can get entered into the drawing, make sure you enter QOTD and then your question, right? QOTD, then your question. Cameron says, become comfortable with being uncomfortable to grow to my next level. Man, that is huge, huge, huge. I'm trying to see. I believe, says, great information. Keep sharing. I love it. Thank you for tuning in on the YouTube channel. Integrity Wealth Solutions says he is learning today to make his future self proud. So keep those comments coming for the question of the day. We got to take a really, really quick break. But on the other side of this break, we're going to go ahead and do our other favorite segment of the show called 1 Minute Motivation. We're going to do our 1 minute motivation on the other side of this break. So y'all make sure y'all keep it locked right here. And while we're on this break, I need y'all to do me a favor. Smash that share button, my friend. If you have not already shared the show, go ahead and hit the share button. Chances are some people that you are connected to would enjoy learning some of these tips, strategies about finances, as well as upgrading their hustle. Keep it locked right here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to share with y'all. This one.
Hey, good morning, Wealth Champions. Hey, listen, if you want to be financially successful, then you have to do what financially successful people do. And I know there's a few things that all wealthy people have in common. Number one, they understand that building wealth is a team sport. Number two, they understand the power of capitalism and business enterprise. Number three, they love to use systems and leverage. And number four, they all have mentors. My name is H. Cortez, also known as Financial Health Mentor. And for the last 5 years, I've been helping hardworking Americans get all of these things in place with one single membership. If you want to learn more about that, go to myperfectmoneyplan.com. Again, that's myperfectmoneyplan.com. And you're going to get a team of professionals, so you're not building wealth by yourself. You're going to get a system that's going to help you transform your finances. And last but not least, you're going to get some great mentorship to help you execute your game plan. So again, go to myperfectmoneyplan.com, and I'll see you on the other side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor. And if y'all don't get anything else, man, y'all got to get that. Building wealth is a team sport. If you got a product, service, or something that you are offering to the public, a cause, and you want to support me in my efforts to empower working Americans across this country in the areas of financial literacy and personal brand development and entrepreneurship, you could be a sponsor of the show. And that, my friend, could have been your commercial right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. If you're interested, go ahead and comment sponsorship, and somebody on our team will give you a call and talk about our options for you to get your products and services in front of tons and tons and tons and tons of people, right? Don't forget to answer the question of the day. What is the question of the day? What are you doing today to make your future self proud? Always put QOTD in front of your answer. That's how we grab your name and put it into a drawing so that you can win a free vacation. Shout out to LaQuanda Walker from YouTube, who won last week's free vacation. Before we get to our last two points on the four challenges, the four financial New Year's resolutions you should avoid making, we're going to do our segment called 1 Minute Motivation here on the Cortez Hustle Show. And the way this works is I play a 1 minute motivational clip. You guys write down one or two takeaways to put in the comments, and I'm going to give you my takeaways as well. I just believe in personal growth and self-development. I believe in starting your day with something positive, and I am so appreciative that you guys have decided to start your day with me. And I always want to give you even more value. So this 1 minute motivation could change your life. So listen up.
If you only have 24 hours in a day, your success is dependent upon how you use the 24. You got to hear me. People talk about Oprah Winfrey, Ted Turner, Warren Buffett. Listen to me. I don't care how much money you make. You only get 24 hours in a day. And the difference between Oprah and the person that's broke is Oprah uses her 24 hours wisely. That's it. Listen to me. That's it. You get 24. I don't care if you broke, you grew up broke. I don't care if you grew up rich. I don't care if you're in college, you're not in college. You only get 24 hours. And I blew up literally. I went from being a high school dropout to selling 6,000 books in less than 6 months. What happened? In my 24 hours. I was like, okay, Eric, you got to get a grip on your 24 hours because you're about to be broke for the rest of your life. And that's all I need you to do for me. I can tell you all about your life if you just write down your 24-hour schedule for me and you let me look at it. I can tell you where you're going to be in 5 years. I can tell you where you're going to be in 10 years. I can tell you where you're going to be in 20 years if you keep that schedule.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our 1 minute motivation video for the day. Comment your takeaway, man. And I'll give you a couple of mine right now. Your success is dependent on how you use your 24. This year, I am making a concerted effort to better utilize my 24. And one of the tools that I've gotten to help me do that is this right here. If you're not familiar with Brendon Burchard's work, he's a high performance coach, and this is actually the high performance planner. And it has really helped me a great deal, man. So go look up Brendon Burchard and check out the high performance planner. It's more than just a planner. It really helps you in some other areas as well. So that was one of the things that I am going to do. And I used to say, man, you got to make time for this. You got to make time for your personal growth and self-development. You got to make time to improve yourself. You got to make time for your business. You got to make time for your family. But that's not right, because we don't make time. God already made the time. What you got to do is take time, right? And a lot of times what that means is we have to take time from somewhere else in order to further our dreams and goals, right? I take time from sleeping and I get up a little bit earlier, right? I take time from TV that I used to watch a lot of, right? I take time from playing basketball. I mean, man, there's times where I used to play basketball 3-4 hours a day, right? That wasn't serving my purpose. That wasn't helping me accomplish my mission. So I had to take that time. And I'm not saying that you have to give up your passions permanently, right? But maybe if I wanted to, instead of 3 hours a day, I take an hour back and play 2 hours a day, right? That gives me 7 hours a week back into my life. So comment your takeaways on today's 1 minute motivation. And I would love to hear from you, whether you're watching us live or watching the recording. Facebook user in the group says you get 24 hours. Utilize it, man. That is, that's powerful, man. So that is 1 minute motivation here on the Cortez Hustle Show. Let's get back to the rest of our content for the day. 4 financial New Year's resolutions to avoid making in 2021. Let's see what else they have on deck. And you guys want to stick around because I'm going to give you a practical game plan that's going to help you really hit your financial dreams and goals after we get these last 2 points out. So number 3, this one is good too. Number 3, right? It says, this is a goal that you should not set for yourself financially. Insurmountable savings goals. Having hundreds of thousands of dollars saved for a rainy day, a fantastic vacation, or an excellent business opportunity is ideal. How's it never? Setting a savings goal of $100,000 in a year when your salary is but $60,000 or less may be setting the bar a little too high. If you don't reach the goal, you may feel defeated. Having goals that are a challenge is great, but setting goals that may seem unattainable is emotionally dangerous. Emotionally dangerous, right? So you don't want to, and that's a great analogy. She said, you talking about you're gonna save $100,000 this year, and you don't make but 60. That's just crazy, right? If you guys don't follow the work on SMART goals, the A in SMART goals stands for attainable. Come on, man. Is it even possible for you to do, right? Let's just start there. Is it even possible for you to do? So when you're setting your savings goal, then that's why a lot of financial educators talk about percentages, right? And not specific dollar amounts. So instead of saying, listen, I'm going to save $100,000 this year, how about saying last year I saved, and you can all do this, man. It's about the numbers. You can all go back and look at your numbers and say, last year I saved 4% of my overall gross salary. Well, instead of saying I'm going to save $100,000 this year, why not say, hey, this year I'm going to bump it up to 6%. And then you can go back and reverse engineer that number and create the dollar amount that's going to total out to be, so that you know how much more to add to what you're setting aside every single pay period, right? So it looks like Curtis from YouTube says, salute you all, brother, sending blessings towards you all. Man, I thank you so much for taking the time to engage and share that with us, bro. Appreciate you so much. Thanks so much. So keep that in mind, guys. The emotional roller coaster is something that you got to actively manage, right? Nobody wants to get to the end of the year and be like, oh man, I said I was going to save 100,000 and I only saved 2. Makes you feel like a failure, right? And then that's just in one area. If you mess around and had unattainable goals in other areas, as you look back and reevaluate, man, it's going to be like, man, I failed here. I failed there. I failed in that area. I missed the mark in that area. And then if you're not careful, if you are not careful, you could start believing that not that you failed, you could start believing you are a failure. And that's a dangerous place to be. Dangerous place to be. You don't want to be in that place where you feel like a failure. So instead, set aggressive goals, but don't make them outrageous, y'all. Don't make them outrageous. Hey, Joseph McKee, my friend, I see you, bro. Hopefully you're ready for tomorrow night's mastermind, man. I did make a slight pivot. Instead of teaching you guys how to make a website, your homepage, a cash machine, we're going to help you guys set up your personal brand from start to finish. Everything that you need, identifying your target avatar, coming up with your mission and your vision statement. It's going to be so dope, bro. So I appreciate you for being one of the founding members of the Monetize My Life Academy Digital Marketing Mastermind. It's going to be dope. So I got some great stuff planned for you guys for tomorrow night. Anyway, so insurmountable goals. Be reasonable with your savings goals. Be aggressive. You should be aggressive. You should be setting goals that are going to stretch you beyond your comfort zone. Yeah, I love that. However, don't make them crazy, right? The fourth goal or resolution that you should not set for yourself in 2021. Let's look at it. Quitting your job to start a business. Quitting your job to start a business. Now, let's read what she has to say. Hating your job is not a good reason to quit your job to start a business. Not liking or not being satisfied with your job may mean you need to find a new job. However, if you want to start a business, keep your job during your entrepreneurial learning curve. Your job is the first corporate sponsor of your business. Your salary will not only pay the bills and sustain your lifestyle, but it will help you fund the necessary business startup, formation, and coaching expenses. Man, I love how she slid that in there. I love how she slid that in there. Let me read that again. Because that's so dope. And I'm reading this for the first time, y'all. I love how she slid that in there. She said, your job is the first corporate sponsor of your business. Your salary will not only pay your bills to sustain your life, your rent, your mortgage, or your car note and all that stuff, but it will help you fund the necessary business startup, formation, and coaching expenses. See, she knows that if you're starting a business, one of the primary investments you should be making is in a coach, right? That's why I had to shout Joseph McKee out from the Learn and Earn Academy, because he's part of the Digital Marketing Mastermind. So he's invested in his coaching so that he can learn how to build an attractive, profitable, and powerful personal brand that's going to attract to him his ideal prospects and convert those prospects into paying customers or raving fans on autopilot. When is the last time you invested in a coach? Cameron Alexander, another founding member of the Alexander Network of the Monetize My Life Academy Digital Marketing Mastermind, right? He says, I can't wait. I'm ready for tomorrow night. Listen, if you need coaching in the area of entrepreneurship, specifically digital marketing, you want to go check out monetizemylifeacademy.com, because that's what we focus on, right? That's what we focus on. Now, let me give you my personal story. And this ain't for everybody, but I know this scenario all too well. I actually left the 60K plus year a job to do this full time. And my wife supported me, and we talked, and I said, babe, and the reason I did that is because I found myself doing more of my business on company time, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I felt a way about that. It was like, there was two things. It's like, I'm eager to get out here and do my own thing and just test the water. That was number one. But number two, I felt guilty that I was putting in so much of my business growth and development on company time. It got to a point, guys, where I was taking 90-minute lunch breaks when I had a 30-minute lunch break, because I was on calls and I was setting up meetings and I was on company time. And I'm like, I can't keep that, can't keep doing that, because that just ain't right. The law of reciprocity says that's going to come back on you if you keep intentionally doing that. So I'm like, that's not right. But I'm like, on the other hand, either I'm going to stop doing that and stunt my business growth, or I'm going to step out on faith, even though my business had not reached the 60K a year mark that I was getting on my job. So my wife and I talked, and we said, well, where are we? And I was like, okay, well, my residual income from my business will take care of major expenses like mortgage, car note, right? And she's still working full time at the time as well. So she's like, okay, well, if your residual income is going to stay, and matter of fact, it can't just stay, it's got to continue to grow. And that was my declaration. I'm going to make sure I grow the residual income. And she's like, okay, so that means I have to stay on my job as, you know, an additional support. So she's like, I'm with you. Let's do it. Now, when she said, let's do it, I don't think she was meaning like, let's do it the next day you go into work. Because this was the weekend. I went in on that Monday at 9 o'clock. And by 9:30, I was back in my car on my way home. So she probably should have been a little bit more specific about her let's do it and said, let's do it in 90 days, right? And let's take 90 days to prepare. And I'm joking with that. And, you know, to this day, we've made it work, but it's been a stretch. It's been a struggle. It has not been easy. If I had to do it over again, I would have put at least 6 months of expenses to the side, not necessarily of household expenses, because again, I had residual income that covered most of the major bills, but I would have come up with a number and said, okay, if I'm going to jump out here and do this business thing, how much is it going to take me to invest in this business to really double or triple my residual income and get us close to my salary? And if that's $1,000 a month, if that's $3,000 a month, if that's $5,000 a month, I would have saved that and put that to the side so that my residual money could still go to the household bills. And then every month I would have my business budget money where I can run and operate my business, right? So I would have done things way different if I had been thinking clearly, and really if I hadn't developed the bad habit of taking care of my business on company time, right? So keep that in mind, man. Your job is your first corporate sponsor of your business, and you don't want to walk away too early. You don't want to walk away without a plan and without the discipline necessary to execute that plan. If you guys have not answered the question of the day is, what are you doing today to make your future self proud? And everybody who answers the question of the day get entered into a drawing to win a free vacation. And we do that drawing every Wednesday at noon. So you can actually see the drawing live, or you can see a recording of the drawing to see if your name gets pulled out of the hat. So please, 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 ladies and gentlemen, keep that in mind. But in order for us to know that you're answering the question of the day, you have to put QOTD and then your answer. And that's how we pull your name, or we enter your name into the drawing. So just a quick recap on those 4 things. And then I'm going to give you a game plan to transform your life financially. So 4 resolutions that you don't want to set is to be debt free. That's too vague. Instead, say, hey, this year, I'm focusing on knocking out all of my credit card debt. Yes, I got a student loan. Yes, I got a mortgage. Yes, I got a car note. But I want to focus on really getting the student loan debt under control. Now, if you pay it off by October, then the last 3 months of the year, take that money that you get back from paying that off and throw that towards another debt, right? That's the Dave Ramsey snowball method. But to say you're going to be debt free this year, unless you got a lot of discretionary income that you can throw at your debts, that might be too vague and you're setting yourself up for failure. Number 2, cold turkey spending cuts, right? This author from Black Enterprise Magazine recommends, Tara Jackson, she recommends that you take the wean yourself down approach instead of just flat out saying, man, I ain't going shopping no more. I ain't going shopping none this year. Come on now. Instead, say, hey, I normally go shopping 4 times a month. I normally spend this amount of money a month. But because I'm cutting back on my spending, I'm going to reduce that by 200, by 400, whatever it is, right? That's a better way. And once you do that and get used to living at the new means for 3, 4, 5 months, then maybe you'll reduce it by another $100. And that's a better way. Number 4, insurmountable savings goals. She gave a great example. How you going to save $100,000 this year and you only make 60, right? So be realistic, set aggressive goals, but make them still attainable, even though they're aggressive. They should stretch you out of your comfort zone. They should challenge you a little bit, but they should also still be attainable. Number 4, don't quit your job to start a business. Don't quit your job to start a business. Start a business while still working, and allow your job to be your first corporate sponsor, so you got some revenue to help you grow. And I love what she said. She said that's going to be money for the startup, the formation, and coaching expenses. You want to get yourself a coach, man. You want to get yourself a coach to help you, right? To help you through that process. So now it's time for me to give you the game plan, right? She's so on point. I happen to believe, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, real Charlie Brown? Welcome to the stream this morning. I happen to believe that the number 1 wealth building strategy in America is a home-based business. So she's on point that you should have that don't quit your job to start a business, but for a different reason. See, a lot of times when you start a business, you're not going to be profitable out of the gate in terms of revenue and income to your business. But when you understand this program, you understand this thought process, you will be profitable just from starting the business. Because if you started a business, no matter what it is, right? I've got some opportunities. You can partner with me. Check the links in the comments, especially if you're on YouTube. But it doesn't matter what it is. Say you write really well and you got some experience at a certain space and you write an ebook, right? And I actually got a system that can help you create digital products and that kind of stuff if you're interested. But say you do that and that's your business. Hey, I wrote my first ebook and now my business is marketing and promoting and selling that ebook. So you got a home-based business. It don't cost you no money to write an ebook. It didn't cost you any money. But here's what happens when you start that business. The first thing you're going to do is go to your HR department at your job and say, how do I access my tax withholding certificate? If you don't know how to do that, ask your HR. How do I access my tax withholding certificate? Then you're going to complete your tax withholding certificate in a way that it reflects that you are a business owner. Now, I say that in that vague manner because it's not easy to just go in there and look at the withholding certificate and say, I have a business. And that's by design. You got to know what you're doing in order to fill that form out to reflect that you have a business. Now, that happens to be the business that I'm in. I have a team of professionals that can get that done for you, but you can also go on YouTube and say, hey, what's the best way to complete my W-4 form if I have a business? And somebody will tell you. Usually, if I do that, I'm looking for a video from somebody who's a certified CPA or an enrolled agent. I'm not looking for the average Joe Blow with no credentials, right? Because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But you can go and find out how to complete the W-4 form or the tax withholding certificate if you have a job. What that normally does for you is going to create anywhere from a $300 to $600 per month increase in your take-home pay on your job. So you wrote an ebook, ain't sold a single one yet, but because you understood this strategy, you then adjusted your W-4 form or your tax withholding certificate on your job, and it created a $300 to $600 increase in your take-home pay. Now, here's the key. Do not let lifestyle creep happen with that $300 to $600 a month. Man, listen, I just got a blessing. An extra $400 a month is in my check. Now I can afford a better car. An extra $400 a month in my check, fella. So now I can go get me a new suit every month. No, no, no. You use this newfound money to, if it was, say it's $400, right? Here's how I would split that $400 up. $100 of it goes back into investing in the business that created the increase, right? So a little bit of marketing, might pay for a coach if I can with $100. You know, I'm going to invest back into the business. $100, I'm going to use that to put into my emergency fund. The third $100, I'm going to use that to pay down some debts. The fourth $100, I'm going to use that to invest, right? I'm not going to use that to add the NFL package to my cable because now I got some extra money to pay for the NFL package. No, I'm used to the money that was already coming in. So I'm going to continue to live my life at that level. And I'm going to take this newfound $400 a month, put some into my business, pay down some debt, especially high revolving credit card debt, invest in my emergency fund. Now, watch what happens if you follow that method. Can I do this with my photography business? Any business, absolutely. Any business, right? So now, when you do that, the third thing that happens, so now I started a business, I got a windfall of income. I use that income. Now I'm blessing myself in 4 areas. I'm investing in my business. I'm paying down credit cards. I'm building me an emergency fund, and I'm investing, right? And by the way, if you go join the Wealth Creation Playbook group, I've got an investment playbook in there that teaches you terminology and perspective on investing, and a video that shows you where and how to get double-digit returns on your money. Now, I'm not a licensed CPA, financial educator, and all that, financial advisor. So just get the information and then take that to your professional. But then the third thing that happens, because you use 100 of that money towards debt, your credit score starts going up. Your credit score starts going up. Now, because you're investing $100 a month into your business every single month, you get good, and now you're able to start selling that ebook. Now, if I'm Daquan, I'm starting to make more money in my photography business. So that's the fourth thing. You actually start making money. And then the fifth thing is you now are, debts are down, emergency fund is built, your investments are growing, you got another stream of income coming from the business. You start double downing, you double down on your investments and start putting more money into your investments. Guys, a home-based business is the #1 wealth building tool in America, but nobody wants to use it. Now, you mean to tell me I got to go and learn how to what's going on in the tax code? Oh, that's too much. That's too much work. Yeah, man, you gotta go learn some new stuff, right? So www.monetizemylifeacademy.com is where you can go and join the mastermind. Monetize My Life Academy. I think Facebook might block the link. So just go to monetizemylifeacademy.com if you want to join the mastermind. There's 3 different levels. Really quickly, we got to get through the question of the day. I know some of you guys start work at 8, so you might have to jump off, but I forgot to give you my answer to the question of the day. What are you doing today to make your future self proud? So this is the question of the day on the Cortez Hustle Show. We do this every episode, and if you tune into the show and you answer the question of the day, you actually get entered into a drawing to win a free vacation. So we take all of the people who commented, and every Wednesday at noon, we pull a name and somebody gets a free vacation, right? So what am I doing to make my future self proud? Man, I'm stepping up my game and studying how to be a high performer, right? So this is Brendan Bouchard's High Performance Habits book. I also have the High Performance Planner as well. So I'm getting better with planning my day. I'm getting better with taking the time away from non-productive activities so that I can redirect that time into my study, into my business, into my branding, into my marketing. So I'm doing a lot of personal growth and self-development, studying, and really trying to take myself to the next level financially through the activities in my business. That's what I'm doing every day to make my future self proud. And I don't know about you guys and your visualization skills, but I talk to my future self all the time. And I got to say this, man, the Cortez of 2025, man, super cool dude, man. Y'all gonna love him. Y'all gonna love him, right? But you got to stay connected to meet him, right? So that is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. And guess what? We don't have a sponsor for that segment. That could be you and your business and your brand. We could be promoting you and helping you get in front of more people with your brand if you choose to become a sponsor of the Cortez Hustle Show, and specifically the question of the day. So with that, good people, I appreciate you all for tuning in. I'm your boy, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor. Until I talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.